I'll just like run down the things like how to make that uniform.
Yeah.
So
Take notes.
if you want to design a good burger, here it is. Here are the industry secrets. So art department created a vector file of the width of the stripe from our best guess from the original show. Like me holding up a measuring tape next to the television being like, this is it's probably 3/4 of an inch apart. Like this looks good. Let's print 5 samples of like 3/4 of an inch apart, 16/18 apart, like an inch and a quarter apart, and like let's hold them up and let's see what looks right. So we print out 5 samples first, matching the Pantone color that Steven, our production designer, used in all of Good Burger signage and cups and all this stuff. So the blue Pantone color matched that. So we print out the samples, we choose the fabric we want and the stripe width that we want. From all the gags in Good Burger, we need 45 shirts.
Oh my God.
Because,
The farthest thing from a shitty rig possible.
yeah, we need 45 uniform shirts. 10 for Kel, 10 for Keenan, like 5, 5, 5. We need ones that tear away. We need all this stuff. We need ones that get strawberry milkshake on, butter on, like everything. So what happens in television is you don't just do the take with the strawberry milkshake once. You have to be able to change the actor every time they get milkshake on them, so you could start back from 1. So Keenan had 10. So we know we're covered. Mm-hmm. So we needed to make 45 shirts. So our tailor has to make a pattern of the shirt that we want to make. But you can't just make a pattern and then say make 5 sizes from this pattern. You have to make a pattern for each size, or else you have to pay the company who makes the shirts to grade. It's called grading the pattern up or down. But we just wanted to save money, and Ken was there. So Ken, our wonderful tailor, Ken Busman, shout out to you, made 5 different patterns, and we sent them off. I was like, hey, Ken, how many yards is it going to take for each shirt? Give or take 2.5 or 3. So we need 100, just to be safe, we need 115 yards of this stripe fabric, which is, a football field and change, to make 45 shirts. Sky Fabrics in New York, also amazing. The fastest they can print that for us, because you have to inject the right Pantone color dye into the stripe fabric, and they have to be perfectly aligned. And then they have to cut the fabric at a point, because you can't print a straight roll of 115 yards. So then you have to decide how many yards in you're going to cut it, that you don't waste any fabric. Because if you cut it 4 yards in, you can't make, exactly.
Yeah. This is a lot of like precise science
so crazy.
Going into this.
So we print the fabric, we send it to, then we get the fabric in 2 weeks. We have 2 more weeks until we start shooting. I only got 4 weeks of prep. So fabric is made, it goes off, we have to pay a rush fee for it to then be created into 10 shirts in Keenan size, 10 shirts in Kel size, 5, 5, 5, 5, according to all the people working there. Plus like 5 or 6, give or take, for any BG that they might want.
Oh my God.
Then we get to the hats.
Wow. Do you think like that original shirt was this meticulously designed, or was it something they probably just bought?
They went to a uniform store.
Like there was something bought at Kmart, and now you're rediscovering like how to craft that.
Only they just chose one solid
Right.
color. It made it a lot easier for everybody.
But like, oh my God, there's Good Burger fans. They're gonna come for me if I don't get this uniform right.
There were people waiting outside the restaurant wearing like
wearing the shirt,
wearing mock shirts.
People came and like hung out outside the set in like cosplay of like a Good Burger worker. You're like, what the fuck is that?
I was like, they're coming right for me if I don't get that right. They're just like waiting for the credits, and edited by costume designer.
As soon as that movie comes out, they're gonna come out with their measuring tape and measure those lines.
I don't think I've ever worked on a sequel like to that extent, because we were doing a similar thing. There's a scene with the sign, and there's like the drive-through sign, and the lights like twinkle.
Yes.
And we were watching the original one to try to get the pattern of the twinkle so that we can match it to the first movie. And I feel like that's stuff a lot of people don't think about. Like,
no.
In either sense.
I would imagine the costume designer maybe found that fabric and then created the shirts, because the shirts don't exist. Like if they existed in 1997 as like a shirt that was that mass produced, I think I could have at least come across it, or like people would have had them back then after the movie came out. But like, as far as I knew, everything that I heard, they were made.
It does seem very fast foody.
Absolutely.
It's like Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Like you, like
The only odd thing about the uniform, which like I love the way it looks, but the only like glaring thing about it not actually being a fast food movie, like an actual fast food uniform, it's like made for the movies, is they wear white pants. Like
no aprons or anything.
Yeah, no one who owns a fast food place is gonna pick white pants.
That's not happening. Yeah, we'll keep those nice and crisp.
Yeah, but yeah, for the movies when we don't use real food or you know anything like that, it's like white pants are fine. There's no actual grease on that griddle. So yeah, that was like the glaring like, oh, this was obviously created for like a show.